Good morning, welcome to a morning review on Thursday the 7th of May. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. So looking at the euro dollar first, and yesterday we managed to end up with quite a bullish day there. We've now put in a sort of a daily pivot swing. The question is whether we can break yesterday's highs. If we can, well, there's little in the way of immediate resistance. Next sort of level of resistance probably comes through this February's sort of highs there somewhere. It's tight. Probably the tightest area it ties in with this monthly R1. So certainly some resistance, maybe just before then as well as the end of the month. We just saw this horrible consolidation that went through the majority of the month. So I wouldn't be too surprised at all. We've broken through the lows from that area, so there is a chance we could push up towards the highs and maybe find an initial bit of resistance, but then probably break through at this rate. Okay, not much else to say from the daily perspective. It's a marginal divergence potentially on the 4 hourly, so if it does make the tops again, it has on the hourly point of view hit there around that area, and we've seen selling at this sort of in this region recently. If it can hold on, that's fine. It may then start breaking onwards. There is the possibility it could come down towards its daily pivot there at 112.97. Would be a reasonable target if it does start selling off. Really need to wait for confirmation of that and see the break of these lows here though. Yesterday it remained stubborn. It looked like it a couple of times it was going to sell off at a decent tick, but just came back towards the 60.21 and then continued its route. So again, it will have that same sort of support sitting there just beyond the break of those lows. So something just to watch out for, just in case it comes back to it. Okay, so at the moment looking relatively bullish, but there may be some hindrance in the way. Looking then onto cable. Now we've got election day today. I'm not expecting too much out of today. In fact, when you look at the last few days, it's been quite unusual to see possible movement, a positive movement for the pound. It probably just shows more of the weakness of the dollar at the moment as opposed to the strength of the pound, though, as we see much smaller moves in the upward direction. However, it's still making progress. Looking at from an hourly perspective, and you can see more so now it's starting to get quite choppy. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more choppiness throughout today, and we may see some more dynamic moves tomorrow once the results are fully known. But for now, it's probably a currency best avoided almost. But if it does start rallying up, well, yesterday's high certainly seemed a target, and maybe the R1. We'll see how things roll there. Okay, looking at dollar yen, continued in the sell-off mode yesterday. Much of the day rolled off, finding maybe some support. If it does break on, continue on this route, it's in a sort of a little bear flag at the moment. If it breaks the sort of lows of that flag, well, maybe it will head right the way back down towards that sort of 118.50 area, or maybe a bit more than that. So there's quite a lot of resistance, support rather, starting at the 118.85 area. So if we start seeing it run down there, perhaps it will find support in that region. As you see, we've been putting in, from an hourly perspective, lower highs, lower lows, and excuse me, it's already caught the daily pivot there. So break of this trend line could see it pushing further south towards the daily R1. Okay, and finally, let's look at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar again yesterday put in a strong day. It's pushed up so far today, but just running into some resistance. Again, it's decent sized move. Sorry, here we go. We're just waiting for the last candle to come in now. Yes, they did put a shooting star in, I guess, but at the moment we're looking reasonably strong on the euro, on the Aussie dollar. Sorry, just refresh that. A break of these highs here, could see again continuation pushing up beyond towards the R1 in yesterday's highs. So watching for that side at the moment. It has been put in consistent or relatively consistent higher highs in. It did have this sort of dip here. We'll see how we can manage from here. It does start selling off. Well, it's a little bit more difficult with this spike in the way at 2 o'clock in the morning there. But if we see a break of the 50 moving average, maybe then it will come back down towards the weekly pivot area, daily S1, and maybe push there. But at the moment, looking relatively strong. Okay, that's it for me. I hope you have a great day. News-wise, let's just run through what we got in terms of news today. Is Thursday. We've seen the Australian unemployment already. Of course, we've got the elections in the UK, as I've already mentioned. Not a lot else, really. We've got Canadian building permits later on at 1:30. Not a massive mover in the usual unemployment claim. So no real significant data coming out there. Just checking. There's nothing mentioned about Greece, but Greece is always the unknown factor. If anyone mentions things about that, sometimes the market gets a little bit wary. But it looks like everything's being done to try and accommodate the situation. And we've seen, obviously, the results in the euro pushing. So for now, nothing significant, but we'll just watch out carefully for, as I say, any news on Greece. But have a great day. Bye for now.